Welcome to the Cringeworthy podcast. I am your host, Kalina Ote, and you are on episode 14 with Rich Williams. On this episode, Rich went into just a lot of shit in places that shit shouldn't go. You're going to just have to listen to it to find out what I'm talking about, okay? And if you want to check out Rich, which you should, you can find him on Instagram at Chicago Black Cat, also at Rich Williams, and he also at Shithole HQ. So he hosts Shithole Comedy with Elston and Byron. Message any of those guys for details, but also follow them on Instagram. They're going to tell you where their shows are. Mass Street Productions is a sketch group that he is involved in. They perform at the Otherworld Theater. And other than that, if you like what you hear as far as our show goes, follow us on Facebook. We are the Cringeworthy Podcast. On Twitter, we're at CringePod, and Instagram, hashtag Cringeworthy Podcast. And just generally download us wherever you listen to podcasts, especially iTunes, where you're going to want to subscribe and rate us 5 stars. And I don't know, leave us a comment. I like to read them sometimes, see what you think. As far as I go, you can catch my show, The Dive Show, that I co-host and co-produce with Aaron McDavis. We're coming back at the end of March, and we are going to be at Spinner's Pub at 8 p.m. It's on a Sunday. Check out our Facebook page, The Dive Show. We'll keep that posted for you. And as far as we are going with Jazz Fuzz studio shows, okay, here, there are shows produced as good, if not better, let's just say it, than Cringeworthy. For instance, we have Multiple Idiots with Mike O'Keefe, where he brings in a guest every week and interviews them to maybe possibly be a groomsman in his wedding one day. We'll see if that ever happens. It maybe should. It sounds so sweet. One of my absolute favorites with a coming up guest, spoiler alert, B. Casper's That Time I Got Arrested. B's been arrested over 100 times. It's literally like listening to the craziest graphic Narcos episode made for NPR. That's literally what it's like listening to her show. It's fucking phenomenal. All right. Without further ado, you made it here for episode 14. Now listen to Rich Williams, and thank you for listening. What's up?
Hello.
How's it going?
It's going pretty good. How are you?
Doing good.
Thanks for having me on.
Thanks for coming in.
Yeah.
Do you remember my name?
Kalina.
Yes, thank you. For a second, I thought you forgot, and I was gonna lie. I was like, let me drag it out because this is really funny if you did. I wouldn't be mad.
No.
It's a weird name.
I have like a thing with names. One time in college, all these stories are from like college. In college, I called a girl by the wrong name, like in front of a bunch of people. I just met her the night before, and then she's like, I was like, hey, Jenny. And she's like, it's Julia. And ever since then, I mean, I'm married now. I don't even know who that person is. I don't even know what the real names are. It's
not
just a story in my head. No,
she's
Andrea.
not your wife, is it? Oh, thank you.
Oh, no. Yeah, I remember her name.
Really bad.
Yeah, I remember her name, thankfully. But like, yeah, I still like, I remember that day and my balls still get real tight when people are like, hey, what's the name thing? You always get that like, oh God, for a brief second. But
that's why I just started being very honest. And I was like, I don't know. I'm sorry. I forgot.
Yeah, right.
I knew it started with a J. Like you got the J and you met her the night before. I mean.
Well, it didn't count that time, and I'm scarred very deeply from it.
Oh, no. That's so awkward. That was a very awkward situation.
Yeah, I mean, but I'm better for it, I guess. I try to remember people's names more.
Do you say it 3 times? I don't remember where I heard that, but I heard somewhere like say it 3 times, and then you'll remember. And I do, and it works maybe because psychology works on me.
Yeah, right. If you can remember like whatever your key is to remember, then that's a good way of doing it. I've heard that if you like attribute it to something like Kalina, there's a feline, like a feline outside. There's a cat. You're supposed to like relate it to something, and then you can remember the name. But I've never been able to do it. I'm always like,
yeah, because you're stretching it hard. You're
exactly.
You're. God, what to remember about you?
So I just have to go with
there's
like
just
brute.
nothing to remember about you.
I just have to go with brute force if I'm going to remember somebody's name. Like I can't do the trick, the three. I never remember to do the 3 times thing. So I white knuckle it.
Yeah. Might be a little obsessive compulsive, so it sticks well with me. So I'm like, cool, I can do this. All right. I got this. And it works.
Improv actually helped a little bit. Once I started doing more improv. Yeah, because you're like...
Because you're off the cuff.
Well, also you got to be on stage and it like just looks a little better if you like can remember their name.
Right.
So... That helps a little bit.
It does. I did. That's why like hosting comedy helped me remember names a lot.
Oh, right.
You had to remember the name going up.
Right.
And everyone in comedy smokes a lot of weed, so it's really hard sometimes to remember people's names.
But also a very welcoming community because of that.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's probably the most comfortable feeling. You just be like, blunts going around, pens, bongs.
Do you smoke before you go on stage?
I used to sometimes, but no, not really anymore. Yeah. And I try not to drink so much, but like at a bar, like when you're hanging out, I'm like, yeah, and I'm like, oh no, because I don't want to be drunk on stage. Like I want to be like, and
I hardly ever drink like period, like at all. I'm just a smoker, but I definitely don't like smoking before going up on stage so much. It's just
you just get chill. You just get like
and chill or forgetful, or sometimes you get inside your own head too much. Like it's just
start a rant or like you guys are enjoying this, and
it's a little more fun to like get up there, do your thing, and then like smoke afterwards too.
Yeah, no, that's an enjoyable round out to the night. Like I started comedy in Peoria, and it was definitely that was the fun thing to do. Show ends, go to the green room or outside or someone's car. Strip club's right next door. Pop in, say hi, what's up? How's it going? Can I get a $20 Jack and Coke, please? Thank you so much.
Yeah, no, I drank on stage a couple of times during a set, like trying to, when you're trying to find what kind of comedian you want to be type of thing. And not
How long you been doing this?
A stand-up? I first started doing it when almost like 8 years ago, and did it for a couple of years, and then was doing a lot more sketch and improv, doing that for a few years, and not as much stand up. And then the last like year and a half, 2 years maybe, I've been getting more into stand up, just doing all of it. And you know what I mean? So now like a little bit more and just doing
tapping
more
everything.
than I was. Yeah, trying to.
Dipping it all.
It's cool.
Why not?
Right. And you see like a lot of people that are doing that. It feels like you cross paths with people all the time. So it's cool.
Chicago.
It's a big community.
Yeah.
But also not. I don't know. It's fun.
It's the better. We do have this discussion a couple times with other people on the podcast. It's, I think, the best of the 3 comedy cities because it's not expensive as fuck. The CTA system works relatively well. And it's very cool and diverse. And there's a shit ton of different people that live everywhere in the city, and every neighborhood is different. And
have you spent time in the other cities at all? I haven't.
No, not at all. Haven't been either. Going purely on speculation from all the rumors that I've heard. How many times do you see people go to New York and they're like, I had to come back because the like refrigerator box, the rent went up. Like, Jesus Christ. Like, there's no way to live in that fucking city. I entertained it for a second, and I saw the room I could rent in like a fucking crack house, and I was like, no thanks. Yeah. I mean, I'm not judging. Do what you want to do. I just don't want to step over your body when I'm coming home from a show.
That's a good general rule.
Also, they make you sell yourself a lot in New York.
What do you mean?
Like, I've heard like you have to do like the flyering thing to get shows. Like you have to bring, or like there's a lot of bring people shows.
Oh, bringer shows. Okay, well.
I mean, here's the thing.
Right, that's what it is though. I mean, ultimately, honestly, that's what it is. Like you wouldn't want to
but you don't but here you don't see people have to run around a flyer. Like,
but I just don't want to do that because I don't want to waste the paper, honly. I'm such a fucking nerd.
My God. You love the environment so much.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah.
Which is funny. We were the guest yesterday and I were walking up the stairs and I was like, I mean, fuck global warming, but 50 degrees is wonderful.
I know. It was really nice out. It's fucked up. But it was.
I know.
I was like, I should get an ice cream cone after this. It's so nice out.
I don't drink Frappuccinos, and I'm going to admit I totally fucking did on the way here.
Yeah, I felt like putting on flip-flops and going for a walk on the beach.
I was like, I could wear my shorts, my bike shorts.
I've been in a hoodie all day. Like, for real. Like, went outside, went for a couple of Mariwakas. That's where I walk around and smoke pot. I called a Mariwaka. And I was just wearing a hoodie in January. January in a Mariwaka. That's
a clever word.
Hey, thank you. That's good shit, but it's also fucked up.
Yeah, yeah. It's
so feel free to use Mariwaka.
So torn in this instance. I mean, it's not like I'm gonna go. It's not like I use CFC hairspray and shit. So it's not like I'm literally like going home going, well, let me turn the car on and warm it up and use my hairspray and
I'm such a nerd. I ride a bike because I want to do my part. Dude, also, it's cheaper.
Oh, I know, right?
And it's faster. I don't have to waste any. I'm never on anybody else's time. It's great. I blow past traffic. Like if you live in the city and you drive a car, I don't get what you're doing.
Yeah.
Unless you physically need a car for whatever reason, if like either because you're moving stuff or your job is so far away that you need a car for some reason. But if you work in the city and live in the city, I don't understand why people own cars.
Yeah.
It's crazy. There's car rentals, there's car share, there's a fucking bike. Like,
yeah.
Electric scooters. It's the future is now, folks. Why are you owning a car?
And then, right now. Get rid of your car.
It's constantly here.
Sell your car. Yeah. Sell your cars. Everybody get a bike.
Yeah, or one of those one wheels. You seen those one wheels? Those skateboards, like the big. It looks like a skateboard. It's kind of like a big wheel. I can't with
those people. No, here's the thing. No.
I was riding.
I am one of those people where I have a point where I'm like, fine, fucking do it, but I am gonna make fun of you. It's just the bully in me, I guess. Like, there's no real reason. We're just like, oh, what are you doing?
I don't know.
Get off of there. I knew a guy who was like, in his late 30s and skateboarded to teach high school math. And I was like, no, dude, no. Why are you doing this? Get a bike. I'm sorry. I know I shouldn't be ageist about it, but I definitely got it. I feel like there's a middle ground where it's not appropriate, like from like 32 to 57. And then it's cute again.
Yeah, right. Then
when you're old and you're on your skateboard, it's like, oh, look at you, Grandpa.
It's like the rule of 3 or the rule of 90. Like that middle ground, nobody cares about. The middle ground is brutal, you know? So yeah, you can't ride a skateboard.
Try riding a tricycle at 47.
I don't know
when you're 65. It's adorable.
Is there an age on a one wheel though? There's an age on a skateboard.
A child
I kind of feel you there.
I'd say once you hit 15 or 16, even 17, I'm like, bro, you should get 4 wheels because let's face it, you're 17 now.
Is there an age on a Segway?
Oh, never appropriate.
Zero. The age is zero.
They're just not. You can't get like Segway cops. Come on. I mean,
no, that's why I like them. I like them for the comedy standpoint of like watching a human being float through my vision. Like that's why I like. I don't want to ride them. I would if I got the chance. Like if someone put a Segway in front of me, was like ride it. I'd be like, all right, fine. But,
it's like Reno 911 all the time. Yes. Like just that level of comedy. Yeah. Like, oh, for real? You're gonna pull up on that?
Right. I appreciate that person. That whoever's riding that Segway. I appreciate them because they're violating the norm, right?
Look,
like, you know, we're all used to walking, but then there they are floating around about the universe.
Like they asked for it. Like, all right, you knew what was going to happen.
Yeah,
like
right. You knew
so now I'm going to mock you very bad.
And they look like they're wearing a helmet while walking, which is, you know, if you got to do that, you got to do that. But it's not great look if you're wearing a uniform.
You know how a lot of people don't use those funky ducks or what the fuck were those called? The one where you like pedal, like you had to forward back. Like it's like a singular.
Oh, it looks like a skateboard meets a Segway, a weird like, cousin thing.
Oh, if only we could make hoverboards, but we can't.
Right? Yeah. What is it called? A funky duck?
I think that was like the first.
No, I like that name. And actually,
was a funky duck.
If you've seen it, it's oddly descriptive.
Yeah, my ex one went really bad. And I was like, "What the? No, again, not appropriate. I am sorry. I know it's just one of those things that gets me. I'm like, again, if you're 65 on a funky duck." Man, bitch, that's dope.
Yeah, right. Actually, props to you for being able to work that thing at that age. Like, you should be on a funky duck at 65 if you can operate a funky duck.
Although I feel like if we're going to live in the future, those should be taking the place of Segway tours. Like,
funky duck tours. Yeah, that would be funny to watch a group of people.
It would still be really funny to see the cops roll up on funky ducks because you have to lean forward.
And like, they're not that fast either.
No, they're not. And you would have to like be very aerodynamic. I hope people have as good of an imagination as I do because it's hilarious.
I mean, picture it in
Are
your
you
mind,
feeling
people.
it?
It's hilarious.
Are you seeing it? Because
we are. And it's great.
It's really good.
Cops on funky ducks.
Downtown. All I have to say, if you're familiar with downtown Chicago.
There'll be a new mayor. We should get this on the new mayor's desk.
protests.
Whoever the new mayor is.
Amara Enya. You can leave that in. Well, I don't know if you can. I don't know if she wants to be associated with smoking weed. Not like that.
Yeah, safe to say. I'm not sure if she'd support that.
I push her on my Facebook because she's the one. She's the one.
I need to take a little time to look into it. I kind of thought I liked Tony Preckwinkle. I liked her soda tax. Just because it's soda tax, I liked that. I thought that was a good idea. Yeah, tax that shit.
Come on.
Sugar's bullshit.
Why?
Tax that stuff.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That sometimes that's all people have is sugar, okay?
Yeah, I lost 130 pounds because I cut that shit out. And
damn.
Yeah, my life was falling apart. And my health was falling apart. And sugar is...
It's bad.
It's bad shit. We know what smoking is now. So if you want to smoke, cool. That's fine. But we know what it is now. But we're not being told fully what sugar is and what it does to us now.
I see a lot of articles about how it's just like, it's a fucking drug.
It is.
It's got an addictive substance to it.
Oh, sugar for sure. Are we doing Malort? That's not Malort.
Not until we jump into the nitty.
It is. Sugar's definitely addictive, but it's like, I don't know.
I mean,
People
it is.
Are to kids, it's just it's everywhere, and tobacco's not everywhere. So, and I look at it similar to tobacco.
Well, it also
real
starts
bad for your health.
The diet wise,
processed bullshit.
Processed bullshit is, but diet wise, we have to look at the system at hand and why there are people who still consume so much of that, and it's a lot of economic differences, and there's a lot of systemic reasons, and those are the ones that have to be fixed. Instead of going to the people and being like, dude. Around it and be like, give the option of hey,
sugar Mountain Dew should not be cheaper than water. People
or
can't
juice.
You
could get Mountain Dew for 69 cents. Juice is $3.
Even juice has a lot of sugar in it.
Yeah.
But people should be able everywhere, no matter what your economic status is, have access to fresh fruit. It can't. We're surrounded. We're in the. Especially here in Chicago, we're on the heartbread, whatever you want, a heartbread basket, whatever that bullshit is of the country. There's so much food being grown around here. There's no reason that people shouldn't have access to fresh whole foods and everywhere.
And being taught how to utilize it too. Because honestly,
right?
When it's I'm going to go, I think that's why so many people fail on those diets and shit is because they don't really know how to do it. We don't know what we're doing.
We just go fresh and whole and don't fuck with it. The more we fuck with stuff, the more we do a bad job.
Just put peanut butter on your carrots and you'll be good to go.
Wait, do you put peanut butter on carrots?
Fuck yeah.
Okay, I'm a big fan of peanut butter on celery. Peanut butter on carrots.
Man, see. Okay. Really? Okay, so apparently this is an interesting, I thought it was a normal. I thought it was a norm. You just, of course, peanut butter and carrots. No. But a lot of people are like, no, why? I'm like, it's delicious.
Why not? You put it on celery.
Good.
I don't like celery. That different. But it's fine. But I'm just saying, it's a vegetable and peanut butter.
Celery is actually complete and utter bullshit. The reason being, it tastes like shit.
It's bitter.
It's bitter. It's not, there's no substance. It's mostly water and it's stringy.
It is. I still like it. It's a fantastic vehicle for peanut butter. It's a crunchy water stick to deliver fiber and peanut butter to my body.
Just wait till you have a carrot with peanut butter.
I'm going to do that. I'm doing that when I get home. Or cashew butter.
Oh,
because sometimes I will be fancy and have cashew butter.
That costs too much. I cannot.
I know, it's expensive.
I'm not famous yet. I don't have cashew butter money
Trader
yet.
Joe's has pretty good cashew butter.
Oh my God. My roommates currently are the biggest Trader Joe bitches, and it's so funny to me because they're all like, oh my God. I was like, y'all sound like a bunch of white people who live in Logan Square because that's where the fuck we live.
You all sound exactly like what
they have to label their foods because they fucking literally all shop at Trader Joe's. I'm like, y'all are ridiculous. Oh my God. I go to Aldi.
Why don't they just share? Same company.
I know.
Yeah,
I know.
Right? And
I know. That's why I don't understand why people pay more and go to Trader Joe's. Go to Aldi.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, get your produce at Aldi.
Seriously, if you would like to sponsor us, that would be great.
Oh, yeah. Aldi, get all over Cringeworthy. Man,
for real.
Yeah, they're all over advertising.
I mean
they're spreading the word.
Yeah.
They got little advertising now where they drop the I from Aldi into think differently or shop differently or whatever. So now you could just drop the little I from Aldi right into Cringeworthy. Yeah. Boom. There you go.
Oh my God.
You're
hit
welcome,
a market.
Aldi.
That's a broad market.
Yeah, right.
Play the show while people are shopping. Go buy way
play
more
the
food.
show while you're cooking dinner.
Yeah.
Not while you're eating dinner.
Oh my God, the Thanksgiving episode was perfect for that. Oh, it was so perfect.
See?
It was so funny.
There is so much cross-promotion going on.
I know,
here.
so much opportunity. Speaking of, since we're talking about stories, I feel like that is the perfect segue. We could take our shots of this liquor that for some reason someone said, I love the smell of rotting wood. What if I could capture that into a liquid form that would show my enemies exactly how I feel about them? And Malort was made and created.
Distilled hatred.
Distilled hatred. I like to do, I'm trying, since we're trying to get them to sponsor us, I only have 2 tonight, but I have a couple taglines for you, Malort, okay? Jepson's Malort. After a few shots, you'll still regret it. Okay? Jepson's Malort. You know you could do better. It's the one I had to borrow from earlier. All right, and on that note, as we get into your cringy moments for us, let us cheers. Take this.
Cheers.
We'll do it to ourselves.
Tappy tap.
Yuck. Yuck. Immediately yuck.
Are you sure you didn't give me water? Oh, that was so good.
God.
Oh, it's so good.
Ugh.
Oh, that's so awful. No, that's awful.
I know.
I was trying to be cool.
You try to lie, and it's like, but then it sticks and it keeps going. It's like if fire could touch your tongue, it would just burn like to the, and it didn't hurt you. It was Malort. Like Malort is what fire wishes it could do to your mouth.
If shitty whiskey got sick and took a bunch of cold medicine, that's what Malort tastes like.
Oh, gross.
I'm not even kidding you. That shot of Malort, somehow it's sitting in the bottom of both of my legs.
Yeah, it's so bad.
Like my feet feel like puking right now.
Yeah. No, seriously, it just doesn't go away. It just won't go away. It's everlasting.
I really hope that Malort is a company. I don't know much about them. Maybe they have a more popular the liquor that's propping them up. I know they're from Chicago.
This is it. This is what they make.
I see.
Jepson Malort makes Malort.
Yeah.
And they've been making it since...
Has anybody bought them out? Do you know?
And no. Apparently they're coming back after a hiatus of... Not a hiatus, but of making shit in Florida. They were like... Right, fuck Florida, because Florida, no offense, but no, Florida's bad. Florida's bad.
I rarely spend any time there.
I've only been there once, and it was just very hot. I'm guessing
it was unenjoyable.
It was not fun. Oh my God.
Wait, Malort,
I have a cringy moment for you. I'll share one of mine too.
Okay.
So I went with my dad. We drove down to Orlando because my grandma lived there at the time. It's still there.
Right,
yeah, it doesn't go away. That's how you try to drink water. That's why I pour myself a little bit of the whiskey because I'm like, this is just disgusting.
Something.
So I'm down in Florida with my dad and my grandma, and it's a night in. We're like, let's rent a movie. I was in love with Angelina Jolie at the time, so I was like, Original Sin had just come out, and I was like, I hear there are tits, and I am in for this.
I think everyone's gone through their Angelina Jolie's crush.
Yet. Huh?
I think everyone's gone through their Jolie crush phase.
That's how I know. I was like, no, I'm straight up gay, but growing up Christian, I was like, can't be gay, but I was like, very so I just lived for these moments. I was ooh, she's naked?
Yeah.
And it's like a movie in theaters? Okay. Well, here's the thing. Have you seen that movie?
No.
It's very sexual. It's a lot.
Yeah, I think I've seen screenshots on the internet.
Yeah, a lot of sex.
Oh,
There's some oral sex.
Oh,
there's some straight up sex. A lot of sex with my grandma and my dad in the same room.
Suddenly that big screen is so big.
And my grandma, I smoked cigarettes at the time too. So my grandma and she goes, well, I'm going to need a cigarette. I was like, no, no.
I don't need any of this in my life right now.
It was so bad.
Oh, yeah, that's
But Angelina Jolie, that was a good movie.
Yeah, that kind of made it worth it.
That was good for that.
It was rough. It was a rough ride.
I was like, this is bad. I can't wait to watch this later with neither of them here.
Right? Okay. All right. I got to redo this.
Definitely
and do
by
it right.
myself. Definitely by myself. Still going to smoke some cigarettes because lot of sex. A lot of sex.
That's a good sex scene if you need a cigarette afterwards.
Man. Is a hot. It is literally, it was porn. It was like, this is what Showtime plays after.
Red Shoe Diaries type of stuff.
Oh my God.
Yeah, well, I pulled that one out of nowhere.
Listen. All right. So I've shared mine.
Okay.
So let's hear this. What you got for us tonight?
All right. The first of two stories I got, let's see. It was it was like a Wednesday afternoon, and I was going on a road trip over the weekend. So I had spent the day before cleaning my car, top to bottom. Like the car was completely, like I even detailed the seats and everything.
What kind of car?
Right? It was a little Ford Escape, a little SUV.
Oh, okay.
Cute ute. I call it a cute ute.
Oh,
yeah,
so
a little
adorable.
sporty, little guy. So I had my car, but it was a perfect road trip car. So it was all clean, and I had to go run some errands. So I'm out the next day running some errands in my fresh, clean car, and I'm out at a Radio Shack. I got a burp coming up. Do it. All right, no, I think it's gone. Okay. Yeah, that's right. Body control. This story taught me body control. So I'm at Radio Shack, and fine. It was a great day.
What year is this?
I know, right? It was 1972.
Yes.
No, yeah, this
right.
was like, right. Radio Shack really clung on for a really long time.
During the boom of radio. Right. The midst of the radio.
Everybody needs transistors.
We have a radio.
We got a real idea for a business here. Everybody's going to want a radio. So put one in your shack. So I'm at a Radio Shack in 1972. And no, this was like, shit, I don't even know when this was. This was a long time ago. Yeah, it was probably like mid 2000s. So
What?
I know, it was an unbelievable day.
I'm trying to, so I grew up in a little tiny Midwestern town, and there was a Radio Shack there, and I'm trying to think when it closed down. And
They
think
hung on
it
longer
might have
than you
been
thought.
before like 2005. I'm pretty sure it was before 2005.
The earliest this would have been is 2004, maybe.
Wow.
I really don't totally remember the year. I don't want to remember the year
they held on.
because they hung on so much longer than you thought. I swear they even made it into the into the tens.
They
as a
started
company.
selling literally radio clocks and phones, like the long cord phones in the back. When people are like, "I need me a flip cell phone," they're like, "Well, we had these." I'm like, "Oh, you're gonna die."
Oh,
You're
no, the
die.
bell tolls for thee.
This is like that part where you know the guy's fucked, but he gets in the car and you're like, "Don't!"
Right.
Oh, he's gotten in the car. He's dead.
Yeah, right. You like
He's
form a
dead.
connection with them, and then you realize that character's going to die, and you're okay with them dying.
Yeah,
That's
you're
how
like,
that's how we all felt about
shit.
Radio
Well, I
Shack.
came to peace with it.
So for some reason, I found myself in a Radio Shack in the twilights of its existence, and I was fine. It was a really beautiful day out. I felt great, and then out of nowhere, a lightning bolt. I had to shit my pants like 5 minutes ago. Like I had to shit, like to the point where I really thought for a second, like I gotta ask if I can go here.
Oh my God.
But I didn't, and that was my flaw.
That's a bad idea.
I should have done that.
Full disclosure, totally my butt just clenched thinking about that because I was like, I know that feeling.
Save those butt clenching muscles. You're gonna need them because it's gonna get a lot worse.
Fantastic.
So the guy took forever ringing me up, and he's on the phone. I don't know, talking to Radio Shack's one last customer and me. And so I finally get out of there, and then I'm freaking out. Like at this point, like I'm in real pain, and I'm also concerned, like what is going on with my body.
Oh.
So there's a Walgreens across the street, but it's a pretty busy road. And how do I get there? I get into the Walgreens parking lot. I took a little finagling, but I'm pulling into the Walgreens parking lot, and I know that they got a bathroom in there that I can use. And there's a spot opening up right in front. So I'm like, I was screaming at the wheel. I was like pulling into a parking lot, like you would have seen I was a lot bigger then. So I was like 350 pounds. I was like screaming, holding onto the wheel screen, right?
Oh no.
So I'm pulling into this parking spot right up front, and I'm wearing khaki cargo shorts.
Oh Jesus. Oh
yeah. So
gross.
I have no room for error. Yeah, right. Poor decision on the shorts.
Yeah, boy. I mean,
a lot of bad choices.
Had this happen before, so
a lot of bad choices were made. That I just meant the cargo part. A lot of bad choices were made, but so I'm pulling into the spot, and I shit my pants a little bit.
Oh no!
Like a little bit. I thought I had it, and a little bit, like a little dollop of Daisy came out.
Oh yeah. The sound effects.
And
oh God.
So like I said, I'm wearing khaki cargo shorts. Like, what do? Like I knew I knew what I had to do. Like, I'm going home. So I'm like 15 or 20 minutes from home. And when I left, the house is empty. I had it to myself. I even had the garage door opener, which I never did, but I had it because I'd been using it to clean my car.
Wait, so you didn't go and walk? You didn't go and walk?
No, because I was wearing khaki cargo shorts. And I was like, well, I can't go inside now.
That
like
pain. Oh.
So, but the little tiny pooping myself like made me feel just a little bit better. Like like not just mentally, but
it was
like
the shirt. It was
literally,
like, a little release.
Yeah, literally physically. I was like, okay, I feel a little bit better. I feel like my legs are under me. I think I can make the 15-minute ride home, right?
15 minutes?
Yeah, it was about 15 minutes from where I was.
No, my God.
So, but I thought I could do it. So I had two choices as far as routes. 'Cause where I was literally at like the head of a triangle to decide which way to go home. So like main roads got a lot of, it's fast, but it's also got a lot of stoplights. Back roads is pretty good, but it's not quite as direct. I'm going back roads, you can speed. So like that's what I'm going to speed. So you got to make it through a couple of stoplights and like a little part of this back part of town, and then you're just open roads-ish until kind of my neighborhood. So it's good to go, right? So I pull onto that road, take that route, and I immediately get stuck behind. I'm also from Illinois. I'm from northwestern Illinois, or like the northwest suburbs of Chicago. So there's a lot of gravel pits out there.
Yeah.
So I get stuck behind a gravel truck.
Oh, no.
Yeah, and they're big and they're slow.
Oh, God.
Yeah, so that asshole got stuck at these like 4 or 5 lights I had to make it through. So I'm sitting there and it's like, it was okay for a minute, but it was getting worse, especially each stoplight and then the mental strain of it all.
And you're I don't know about you, but like I had that issue.
Sweat.
I'm sweating. My stomach hurts thinking about it because I know how many times I've been like, I might just pass out and die and shit myself anyway. Like, but somehow I've never shat myself, but so I'm feeling you
in that moment
a lot right now.
Yeah, like now, years later, I can look back and be like, well, clearly I had some like food poisoning or something went on. But like in that moment, you are like, all you're doing is trying to survive. Like you don't give a shit what put a hole in your boat. You're just trying to find something to float on. You know, like you'll figure the rest out later.
I don't want to die this way.
Right? Yeah, not like this.
Embarrassing.
Sweating and it was bad. And I'm like, at that point, it was so much pain. Like my stomach was in so many knots. And then I'm gripping the steering wheel and my like literal white knuckles, and I was just screaming at the windshield because it felt like a little bit better. Oh my God! And we're about to we had like one more stoplight to go before that kind of open road section I was talking about. So I'm about to finally be able, if nothing else, I'm going to be able to pass this gravel truck. So like, okay, thank God. But of course, he gets stuck at that stoplight. Oh,
son of a bitch.
Yeah, right? It's like new.
And that man is the worst enemy in that moment. You're like, I don't care if you die. In fact, I hope you do. And I'm going to drive away like nothing happened.
I just wish that he could have been in that car with me to hold my hand while I went through what I went through. And so that he could feel my pain. I needed a companion, but also to like share my pain. Like, I often think listen, you're doing this to me because otherwise I'd have been hauling ass home. But you're doing this to me. So you're going to have to watch this. And that's why I don't ever want to carry. I want children, but like, I will not carry. I can't stand this pain. If this is a contraction, I will die. No joke. No, that is no I need all your drugs. Joke. The kid will be fine. I'm sure it can detox quickly. No, I'm just kidding. You know what? At that point, fuck that. I don't want to get my wisdom teeth pulled out unless you knock me completely the fuck out. I want to wake up in 3 days. I have a story for you about that. Kind of shit. I don't want to know anything. I can't imagine having a I was awake while I had 3 pulled. Put me. No, I don't want and a child is far worse than wisdom teeth. So I can't even imagine. I stayed awake during the wisdom teeth, but I was still like, it's not my guts. And once I would have those attacks, I was like, oh no, I will not make it. Did you have anything? You had to have something. Novocaine. Okay. But could you feel it? Yeah, because this one was impacted. Oh no! On the right, and by the way, he decided that he would have 5 medical students come in to watch the procedure. So I had the 2 on the left and the 1 on the bottom right. Or no, 2 on the right, 1 on the bottom left. And the 1 on the bottom right was impacted a little bit. And he goes, gonna have to cut this one out. So I literally was awake through the sawing. I was awake through the crack. I mean, I felt it crack. Like he had to break it out of my jaw. Cringeworthy? Because you should do your own cringeworthy. Well, it's the thing. I think of these shit that happened to me. And I can't stuff like that makes me ill. And I'm welcome to a very special episode. Oh.
Yeah. And he goes, and
my stomach's turning right now. It's not the Malort. It's your tooth being cracked.
Well, I haven't told anybody. Well, maybe I've told people, but like not on this show. But I did, like, when I heard the crack, my reflexes, my arm came up like to block.
Yeah.
Because I have
to murder.
Yeah. Because I have like a lot of training and, martial arts growing up. So I was just like, oh, stop it now.
Yeah.
And he goes, oh, you're trying to help me? And I'm like, not funny. Get this fucking stop.
Right?
Just make it stop.
You wouldn't like me if I helped you.
Man.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
No,
that was like
asshole.
a torture. No, it's like, but. The thing is,
my eyes are huge right now. For the viewers at home, my eyes are like dinner plates right now because this is my nightmare.
But here's the thing: like between those pains, my gut pain, I've almost passed out from.
Yeah,
because
that's a thing.
So bad, like. Oh, I'm like, I think I'm not going to even throw up. I think I'm just going to black out. I think that's what's going to happen. So you have to breathe through it and try to stay the fuck awake until you get home because you're also driving a car. So like you talking about this is like, to me, I'm like, nope, that's worse to me. Like the Novocaine thing sucked. Like having those 3 teeth out, that shit was nightmarish. But that pain, the
tummy?
guts. That's why women are so tough, but I can't carry
Seriously,
a fucking baby.
couldn't do that. I couldn't do that. I don't even have to wrap my brain around it, so that's probably why I don't even have to contextualize it.
Yeah.
It's not even an option for me, so my brain's like, well, you don't have to think about that.
So we're blanking that out. Right.
Oh, that tooth thing.
Yeah.
I had a medical student come in and watch when I had a catheter put in one time. They were testing my bladder for like how big it was, and then they were also taking a piece of my bladder to test me for gigantism. Because I guess like the genes involved with your kidney. No. I don't know what the technical term for isn't that where they take
That's where they take a sample.
I guess technically there's like a tiny little piece in there testing it because as it was explained to me at the time, the genes involved in making your kidney also have a little bit to do with like your size and potentially gigantism. That doc never called me back, so I'm guessing I'm not a giant. But I'm a big guy.
Yeah, you're very tall.
So at the time I was wondering like what's going on. I was a lot heavier at the time too, and I was younger, so
and you know what those? It's funny, like you're so tall though. I feel like you would carry it like because you're a very tall man.
Yeah,
I'm
you're
like 7'2". Okay, I was gonna lie.
You're like 7'13" at least.
It's crazy.
I want to see if I have a picture that I can pull up because I'm on airplane mode. I don't want to.
Why are you on airplane mode?
I don't want that shit buzzing here. Yeah, that's a picture of me. What I used to. That was what I looked like. In college.
Okay. Oh yeah, you're much smaller. Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
For sure.
Yeah, that was probably right around my heaviest too. That was probably like 360. I'm like 235 now.
Was it all from biking?
No, it was all from. I didn't do any like physical shit to lose weight. I just started eating whole foods.
Okay, that's what I have to do.
Yeah. If you want to, want to lose weight, put yourself in a caloric deficit. So try to burn more than you eat during the day.
Yeah.
But if you don't even want to count or worry about that, yes and no. But that's not necessarily a good thing either because you can't mentally overcome hunger. So it can actually make it worse. So just trying to starve yourself won't necessarily work person to person, but
I will
just
eat cupcakes.
Start with eating whole foods and make that 80% of what you eat are whole foods, and you'll feel a lot better.
I need to do more carrots and peanut butter.
Fuck yeah,
I love those.
Hell yeah,
man.
just plain peanut butter. Watch that shit that they put sugar in, like Jiffy. Don't eat that shit.
I like the crunchy one.
Oh hell yeah. Oh yeah.
I'll get the natural. I get the natural.
Good stuff.
I get the Smucker's natural because that shit's cheap and natural.
Just look out for the sugar.
There's no sugar.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. All right.
Yeah, it's very good.
Yeah, I think like peanut butter is like because cashew butter is so expensive. It's like $8 a can on the cheap end.
So fucking
that Justin
expensive.
stuff is too expensive. But
Jesus Christ.
Justin's, you should definitely sponsor Cringeworthy, and then you can get free Justin's. So that's a great idea. Advertising, right?
And when I'm high, I love peanut butter and carrots. So Justin's, I would eat your cashew butter and carrots or your nut butter, whatever.
Almond butter, whatever you got. Justin,
I really
am
not down for the nut butter call, but that's okay.
Yeah. It's like such an awkward.
I'm going to be very specific.
Can we find something else to call that? You know what I mean? Why does it have to be butter? Couldn't it just be or nuts? Why does it have to be nuts? Can we?
Well, they were nuts first. They were nuts before
that's
the
true.
nuts.
And nuts are going to look like testicles no matter what you call them. So if we just call nuts something else, that's just what we're going to eventually call balls. You know? So where were we in the poop story?
Oh my God!
I think I was holding hands.
Holding hands in your mind with the truck driver.
So yeah, I'm stuck at that last light, and that's when it dawns on me because at this point I still have at least 10 or 12 minutes of like gut wrenching pain. Yeah, I hadn't gone that far. I'm stuck behind the truck.
A lot of tights in that little
It's awful.
time.
Yeah. This little it's awful.
God, it's comically terrible.
Oh yeah. So but then it dawned on me, you do know how to get out of this. You know how to end this pain. You've already done it.
No.
You've already done it, Rich. How much better, Rich, did you feel for that brief moment at Walgreens when you let a little bit go? Imagine how much better you'll feel with a full release.
Oh.
Yeah. So
do you have cloth seats?
Other. Yeah.
Oh God.
But they had just been clinging. So
Yeah,
I was pretty upset. Also, I was wearing, and like I said, I was a big guy, so nothing was ever tight. I'm wearing some baggy cargo shorts. So I mean, this solution was not without its drawbacks.
Oh, God.
So I'm like, okay, I really honestly, as soon as I had the thought that like you'll feel better if you shit yourself, my mind had made up this like I'm going to shit myself. No. So it's no longer a question of are you shitting yourself, Rich? It is now how are you going to do this without fucking shit up too bad? What do you have to do here? So the light turns green. And I'm going. So now I'm going and I'm like, okay, all right, figure this out. So I was, like I said, I was wearing cargo shorts. So before I did anything, before I shit myself,
You premeditated shit yourself.
Very
you
much so.
this.
I'm not kidding. I tightened my belt because I didn't know. Yeah, I didn't know. I didn't know what was going to happen. So
Why'd you tighten your belt?
I didn't know where this stuff was going to go. I didn't know what consistency. I didn't know
you don't
size.
have kids, right? So it's not like you had the whole like thought like it would like go up your back shit. Like,
well, that's what I didn't know. Fluid tends to go where there's least resistance. And honestly, in that moment, I didn't know where the least resistance was. So I just wanted to try and I had an idea of where I wanted to direct stuff. so I enacted that plan. So like I said, I cinched my belt and then I took on my left leg, I had a good lean to the right, real hard to the right on the center console. So fucked up. And I took my shorts and I kind of like tucked it under wrapped it under my leg and it tucked it under and then held it real tight with my knee to my leg, right? Like pulled my foot in. I pulled my foot in like as close as I could to the seat to kind of make, in my mind, I was like.
Did you never tight roll your jeans as a teen?
I did a couple of times. My sisters did it for me because I was like, I remember asking them one time, I wanted to look cool.
Did you ever look back on that and go, fuck, I wish I'd learned how to tight roll? That would have kept you shitting.
In that moment, I honestly felt like I'd done a pretty good tight roll.
Oh, okay.
And I honestly felt like it was pretty secure. So much so that I chose to shit myself, guessing that it would hold. So I was pretty confident. Yeah, like that was my plan. I tucked the pants under because I was making in my mind a poo pouch. I was making like a little pocket. But was
it tucked? Like it was just tucked so when you get out.
Like I said, this plan was not without its drawbacks, but we'll get there. I like to think on my feet. At this moment, like I said, it was second to second. We were living truly in the moment. And in that moment, I just needed somewhere for the shit to be that wasn't inside my body.
You've never been more connected with yourself a day in your life.
Yeah, right? Everything came down to that one moment.
Oh, my God. Ew.
I had my poo pouch. I had a reasonably secure belt. I felt confident enough now to just let her rip. And I just like full on beautifully shit my pants. And it felt great.
Is it like a surreal feeling to shit, like relieve your bowels in a place that's not a toilet?
Yes.
Because
Yes.
I can't do that.
100%. I've actually done it multiple times. I've done it multiple times. What? Yeah, it is. It's weird. It's so weird.
Is it just because after the one time you're like, I mean, I know what this is. I've dealt with these emotions and the feelings before.
It's kind of like you get that feeling where you're like, at least me personally, I can't speak for anyone else who's ever willingly shit themselves, but I felt a little bit like, oh, this is what it's like. Oh my God, I feel so good. I don't care. I feel so much better. And then, you definitely get that surreal feeling of like, I shouldn't be doing this, but I am. Like, there's a lot of emotions that go along with shitting yourself once you finally unpack them.
What'd you unpack?
Once you unpack all this,
literally and figuratively.
So now that all happened fairly quickly. That now I got about a good 10 minutes of sitting there.
Oh, that's
now that. I had the windows open, and fortunately, this car had seen a lot. This car plays into my second story as well.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, right.
You just started assuming it was a toilet.
It was a weird time in my life. I only owned that car for like 2 years, too. I don't even think that long.
It was a Ford, after all.
Yeah, right. Yeah, shitty car. But I had the windows open. It was a nice day. I honestly don't remember the smell. I truly just remember the relief. Like, I felt so much better. But then it was like, then I had like 10 minutes of like, you're marinating
in it. Oh, ew.
Yeah, like also going like what? That's when you start figuring out how you got that hole in your boat. Like what did I do? How did I?
Oh my God!
Start questioning a lot of stuff. To this day, I still was able to figure out.
What did you eat that day? Do you remember?
No.
Oh no.
No, I don't remember that.
Wow.
No. Okay, that's a lie because I actually do remember one thing, and it probably is the number one suspect. When we'll get there. We'll get there. But so I had about 10 minutes of self-loathing and stewing to do. So then
yuck.
I lived, my house was on like just had a little ridge to the street. And if you're coming towards my house, you'd see the house. We were like right on that ridge. You'd see the house, but you couldn't really see the driveway until you kind of crested this just little tiny hill. It's Illinois. Every mountain is 5 feet. So you're just cresting a little speed bump. And then all of a sudden you can see my driveway, and my mom is pretty short. And I knew she was going to be coming home about the same time. But like I said, I had the garage door opener, and I thought I could my plan was now like, okay, I'm going to get inside the house or inside the garage and then close the garage door. No one has to see because I'm wearing khaki cargo shorts.
But how are they? You only had it tucked.
I'm just going to hold it and pray for dear life. That's all I got. But I was also, oh my God, yeah, this was so mid 2000s. I almost forgot about this part. I was in those 10 minutes of driving and thinking. I can't believe it. I forgot I did this while driving at speed. I took off my left shoe, which was the poo pouch was on the left pocket side or the left side of my leg. Or
so
my left
you
leg.
aimed it all to the left.
I got it all to the left, and I felt pretty confident of my. That's why I said I had that hard right lean. I closed up to my best ability that left pocket, and I let her rip. And then I sat there for 10 minutes thinking about myself. And in those 10 minutes, I also managed to very, very tenderly. It was hard, but I untied and slowly took off my left shoe so that if anything were to happen, I wouldn't ruin my brilliant white Adidas. I told you, there's a lot of bad choices.
God, but I mean, white shoes are dope, but this is why you don't. Like, you can't.
Yeah, never wear white.
Or you can't eat all day.
Shit yourself.
Yeah.
So if you're afraid you're going to shoot yourself, don't put on those white shoes, big guy. So, okay. So as I was saying, we're jumping all over a little bit, but I'm driving home. I'm cresting that little tiny hill, and then I see my mom's head walking down the driveway, and she pulled her car into the garage. So there wasn't enough room for me to get into the garage now. And also, like, now at this point, I know it brought me to this very table here because in those 10 minutes before, when I was sat there in my own shit, I also decided I was never going to tell anyone. But I also kind of have a rule where if somebody sees you, then like I don't want to put that on my mom for that to be her secret. So now I need to tell the world.
Yeah.
So that I can lift that burden from her.
Let her feel free.
Right. So I actually did kind of pull into the garage, sort of like there was a little bit of room there, and she came around to the driver's side because I was parking in a weird spot, and she naturally was wondering like what's going on, like what's he doing, and I opened up the door, and my mom is an amazing woman, but you also you treat her with respect, and I opened up the door, and she's like, "What are you doing?" And instead of just being like, "Hey, I need a moment" or something like that, I just go, "I had an accident." And like she thought car or something, but also like the car is completely fine. So like whatever the fuck this asshole me is talking about, like just whatever. So she was just like, I'm not dealing with this, and went inside. Rightfully so.
Nice.
All right, you idiot. So she just walked away from me. But like I'm like, oh shit, like oh damn it, like now I pissed her off.
You talk shit to my mom. I shit my
pants. I didn't mean to do that. Like I got other things I'm dealing with right now. So I walk inside. And that's when she sees me. I'm coming in through the garage door into the kitchen.
Wait,
which
so
is
you're
just
coming inside with this?
Well, what else am I going to do?
Take them off.
And
Are you kidding me?
And walk into the house with
Yes!
my little teeny peeny hanging out and poop all over my butt.
I mean, cover your weenie with the shit pants, I get. But
listen,
you had underwear, right? Did you have underwear on?
Yeah, I had underwear on. Yeah.
I mean, I know they'll be shitty, but like,
I guess honestly,
you just walk in the house with their shit-filled pocket. Oh my goodness!
In my defense, it was holding. It was holding. I was holding. I felt very confident.
Wow.
But I knew I also had to go upstairs and make it down some carpeted hallway into my room to get to the shower.
What the fuck, man?
So, but I walk inside, and that's when my mom like sees me walking along, and I got one shoe on, and I'm holding my pants at my knee, and like something very weird is going on. And I'm also walking like I just shit my pants. So she's
was it like
naturally
sloshing. I mean, like,
yeah, it must have been. I really kind of shut that part out.
Yeah,
but there wasn't, to answer, I feel like your deeper question there is what was the consistency? And it was very loose. So yeah, very loose. I did have a somewhat watertight pair of, I'm only guessing, American Eagle shorts. And my mom sees me with one shoe. What the hell is going on with this kid? So then I'm like, all I can think is to repeat the genius line of, I had an accident. So I walk in the door and I say, I had an accident. And I knew, I could tell by her body language, she was about to walk down the hallway to go upstairs, the exact same route that I needed to take. But she was being nice and letting me like go ahead. And so I'm like kind of standing there for just a split second, like as soon as you turn your back, it's going to answer all of her questions. And it's also like, she doesn't, want it. So she saw my hesitation and walked down the hallway ahead of me. So I'm like, okay, thank God. But then we got to the stairs, same situation at the stairs. And I just went up the stairs first. And that is in that same moment, she also goes, what happened to you? What are you? Oh, because she got full view of me. Yeah.
How did this smell? This is what I don't understand. Like, that would have to smell so unreal.
I'm blessed with my father's sense of smell, which is to say not a great sense of smell. It didn't hit me until I did make it down that carpeted hallway. I made it up the stairs. The poo pouch, believe it or not, it held. God. I made it all the way into my shower, and that's where I stripped. Like I went in fully clothed. I remember throwing out all of the clothes, even the shirt that was involved.
Yeah.
Everybody. It was a calling.
It's like a murder.
Yeah,
it's like you killed your first, like you did your first hit.
Yeah,
that's basically the scene.
That poop murdered that outfit, except for the white shoes. I kept those Adidas; they were clean.
You burn them. Like,
no,
throw some lighter fluid on them.
Oh, I probably should have, but I definitely threw out the underwear and everything else. Now that I think about it, I do remember that shower. Oh. And I do remember seeing some things. Oh, I have some candidates, but it was something that we all eat pretty much every day or whenever you go to the movies. I don't understand why that reacted that way, but I must have had some sort of foodborne illness, and that was it. I was fine for the rest of the day after that, physically, mentally.
You have mentally, to sit with that for a minute. 15 years, whatever it's been. You get a therapist or you become a hitman.
Or just tell it to strangers on a podcast. So yeah, that is the first. That's my poo pouch story.
That's the first.
Yeah. I told that to somebody, and I told that to my IO class, like level 5 or something like that. And my teacher, she was so funny, she called me Turdicate. Yeah, she called me Turdicate for the rest of the term there.
Oh, good job.
I always called it poo pouch, but Turdicate, I like that. So I got to tip my hat to Lindsay Haley, Turdicate.
Good job, Lindsay.
Yeah, good job, Lindsay. I am cheersing my empty Malort glass to you.
The best kind of Malort glass, an empty Malort glass.
Yeah, right? No more of that shit.
Oh.
So yeah, that's poo story number 1. Should we just dive right in number 2?
Let's dive into number 2. Let's do this.
Number 2 number 2. Number 2 is a little bit more of a sordid tale.
I just can't believe people have more than one shit themselves story. I am so blown away.
Oh, this actually isn't a shit myself story, but it is a very poo related. I have another story where I shit myself for $20, but honestly, it's a pretty boring story. Punchline: I shit myself for $20. That's it. God, that's it. One time I did that.
I mean, that's not enough money. You're worth more than that. I hope your price went up.
That actually segues perfectly. I like to lowball the hell out of anybody on those kind of bets. bets. If I'm willing to do it for money, I should be willing to do it for free. So I like to I'll lowball you just so that I could be the one who do it because I'm stupid like that. Such as my second. What were you going to say?
You must be good with money.
Yes and no. Sometimes I'm not the smartest. But sometimes I've been a lot better than I was in my 20s. My 20s were bad. But so yeah, speaking of 20s college, oh my God. So yeah, segueing perfectly in. I shit myself for a lowball $20. The bar I worked at a bar in college. And it was a ton of fun. We were all friends. We all got along, and it was a lot of really good partying. And it was a good time. College was a lot of fun, but it was a lot of partying, a lot of stupid stuff. And
yeah.
Oh yeah.
God.
And we would drink a lot. It was a bar we all worked at, and we would often drink at the bar after it closed. We'd stay at the bar, close it, and then maybe a few people would stay, a few friends, and then all of us employees would stay and drink. And it was a lot of fun. Or sometimes we'd go to a house party, or a little bit of both. And speaking of lowball and stuff. One night at this bar, they used to do stuff like this all the time. One guy he had big boogers coming out of his nose all the time. His name was Matt. He was a fun guy. Matt would pick these giant boogers out of his nose, and one day he put one in a shot glass.
No, ew.
And this fits perfectly with Cringeworthy. Yeah. So I was coming back from the bathroom. I walk behind the bar, and I hear, I'm coming from a dark spot in the bar. I can't see what's going on, but I can hear a couple of guys. One of them's going, I'll do it for 20. And another guy goes, I'll do it for 10. And just as I'll do it for 10, just as the one guy says, I'll do it for 10, I walked around the corner, saw that it was one of Matt's booger shots, or quickly surmised it. Somebody goes, I'll do it for 3. And he started to reach for the shot, and I came over and go, I just did it for free, and threw the shot back. So I took a free booger shot.
That makes me nauseous.
Yeah, as it should.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was pretty disgusting. But
that's fucking nasty. Oh my God, dude.
I feel like that sums up the kind of atmosphere that we had at this bar. So keeping that in mind.
And I was just about to say my dream job to be in a bar. Oh God.
It was a lot of fun at that time. Yeah. But good job and a bad job for somebody in their 20s who likes to party. you see a lot of stuff.
And shoot a lot of booger. Oh my God.
Yeah, do a lot of booger shots too. You got to earn it. You don't have to do booger shots.
Don't do that.
Yeah,
that's
you don't have to do that unless you're me and you're just trying to be an idiot. Yeah, it was pretty gross. I say that now. I don't even remember it. I remember the time just laughing.
Oh, God.
But yeah, okay, so that was the kind of place that we worked at. And I honestly don't know how this even fully started. And there's a couple of guys involved in this, John and Brian. If they get a chance to listen to this, I hope I get the chronology right. But I definitely got all the everything's right. If I don't remember who exactly started it, doesn't matter. I believe I started it, this Poo War that we got into.
Oh, God.
I believe I started it. John went home with his girlfriend at the time one night early from the bar. Like I said, we were all drinking after hours at the bar, and John left early with his girl, and we were drinking afterwards, and we were being stupid, and somehow it came up like, oh, well, let's all go back to their house. John lives in a house with some other guys, and that's where we often partied anyway, so kind of made some sense, and somehow, I don't even know how this came up, but we sold plastic fish bowls that we'd make big drinks in at the bar.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So we sold those there. So we had a bunch of those plastic fish bowls with the logo, the name of the bar on it. So I took one of those and for some reason decided to take a shit in it. So I pooped in it because here's my grand scheme. I am going to poop in this fish bowl, and we're going to go over to John's house, and I put some little sticks in it and like little flags, and we made like a little underwater poop fish diorama kind of scene.
What the fuck is wrong with you people?
I took a booger shot for free.
That's fucking weird.
It was a fun place to work at. So we had this little straw and toothpick and flag and poop diorama. Not diarrhea. It was just a regular poop. But so it was in a fishbowl and
fucking weird.
Yeah, real fucking weird, right? So we went to the party house and put it on a chair outside of John's door and banged on the door, and he eventually came out. What the fuck is this? And not much out of it, just like, what is this disgusting thing? And
fuck.
I honestly, I don't remember if the girl left, I don't remember any of that. It kicked off a series of events. So some days or a week later, whatever it is, I'm walking home. I remember this happening, and John and Brian, who also lived at the house. Brian lived at this house with John, if I remember correctly. They called me up one day. This is like right at the advent of people having cell phones more currently, more. So he called me up, and Brian was going out of town. Brian was like, "Hey, I'm going out of town, blah, blah, blah. I need you to babysit my fish." Mm-hmm. Absolutely, man. No problem. And I had done the poo trick to John. And if I remember correctly, Brian, I thought, was maybe on my side when I made the poo diorama. Yeah. I don't remember. But I had tricked John. So I did not see this coming. It was a classic flank maneuver. So I'm like, oh, yeah, absolutely. I'll babysit your fish. So he's like, oh, come over to my house now. I can't. Or we'll meet you at your place. So they had saved that little poo diorama. They brought it, this disgusting, poo thing back to me.
Wait, they saved it? How long?
I don't remember. It was pretty gross, or maybe they made a new one. I don't think. Yeah, but if I remember correctly, they saved it.
No.
It had to have been pretty quickly after. There was another
How
poo
old
fish.
Are you guys?
20s?
Yeah, that sounds
20,
right.
21.
Right.
Yeah, right. It's about
that
right.
sounds about right.
And even if I'm wrong about that, they made a new one.
I mean, still.
Yeah, they also got a fish bowl and also pooped in it.
My God.
Plastic fish tank thing and pooped in it. So, like we've all hilarities ensued. But I'm not going to be outdone. Like, you're not going to return a turd to me. Like, I don't like to be one up. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's not how I roll. So you're not.
Wow.
So I was like, I was having a good time with him, but also like, it's on, motherfucker. So, and I think they kind of knew it too. So like, this is so okay. So I'm like, all right. So some weeks pass, and now it's like on with the whole household, because now Brian's gotten himself involved. There's another guy who's like, trying to make jokes about me watching this poo fish. So this whole house is now kind of like ganged up. They're like, they're in this little poo war with me. And the one guy, I don't remember his name, who was making the poo fish jokes. Like, I really didn't like him. He was kind of a beat off, and
I have never heard that.
You never heard beat off?
Beat off? That's
it's like a jerk off.
Yeah, that's hilarious. That's funny to me.
But more of a beat off. He's a total beat off. So he was like trying to insert himself in this cute little poo war that me and John and Brian had. But all of a sudden this other guy comes along and is trying to insert himself. And he lived in that house. So his birthday was coming up maybe a couple weeks after, this poo war has gone on. So there's a lot of jokes that we're making about it. But it's his birthday coming up, and he's not going to be suspecting. I wasn't suspecting that Brian would deliver a turd to me in retaliation for what I did to John. So beat off is not going to be expecting me to turd him in retaliation for what Brian and John did, even though he joined that team.
Going on with this shit.
He joined that team. Literally. So now I'm going to induct him into the Poo War. So it's his birthday.
There's like strategy and shit to this.
Oh yeah, right. I really should have gone to class, but no, I was thinking how to poo pranks.
You're already living the art of war.
Right? Sun Tzu is like, this guy gets it. He gets an honorary degree in
pass him.
Yeah,
pass him in warfare.
So now I'm like, okay, well, it's beat off. It's his birthday coming up. Yeah, he's just beat off now. Beat off is his birthday coming up. I'm like, oh, I know what I got to do here. I went to Taco Bell and I had Chinese food the night before. I literally planned out my food because I knew what it would do to me. And you've been asking a lot of questions about stink, and I've been saying like I don't actually smell. My sense of smell kind of sucks. It didn't on this one. So I worked out what I knew was going to be a monster. Also, I did this on a Saturday. I was heavily drinking on Friday night because it was a Friday night.
I drink shit.
And I was in college. So it was everything. It was Taco Bell, because Taco Bell is always at that time was the match to whatever Tinder was in my stomach. Taco Bell was the match. So Chinese food, it was a layer cake of disgusting. So it was Chinese food, then drinking the night before, and whatever else I ate along with that, which is probably some garbage food. God. And then the Taco Bell to get it all
make sure it all gets out. Yeah, just easy train.
Right, my God,
easy ride.
So, man, that's fucked up. So I shit into a plastic bag because I gotta carry it somehow.
Oh God.
Meanwhile, I had taken a box and I had wrapped it like a normal birthday present, but then I cut the bottom out of it. Wrapped. I say I did a pretty good job wrapping. It was a really good job. And like I was like a 20-year-old guy. No 20-year-old guy just did wrapping a present. So like I was.
People are loving this shit.
Yeah. So I drove the few blocks, whatever it is, with all the windows down. It smelled so bad. It was so bad. I was also laughing so hard. So I'm driving across town laughing and with shit coming out of the window. It's like crazy, man. Yeah,
that's fucking psycho.
Yo, it's totally psycho. So like I said, I don't like to be one upped. And I was like, this is one of the knockout punches, like I'm thinking this is gonna be a good one. So I drive out of their house, I put it on the front step, put the shit on the front step, and then put the box over top of it. And then you ring the doorbell and birthday boy comes to the door and there's a birthday present on the door. You're going to pick up what your birthday present is and there's fucking shit right there. So it was beautiful. I ding dong ditched. I watched from my car. He picked it up. He's disgusted, but he's also, I mean, beat off. I call him beat off. I was kind of friends with him. I didn't want to
we all had that one guy.
Right. He's totally that one guy. So I didn't want him to be like, oh, everyone hates me, but I just didn't like him that much.
But you let him know, you're lucky that we even hang out with you, bro.
Beat off also made a lot of fat jokes about me at the time. So there's a reason I called him beat off. Yeah, it wasn't.
Usually. Yeah,
there's a reason he was beat off. He made a lot of fat jokes. One night at one of our really good after work parties, he was making a lot of fat jokes, and I was not fucking having it. Like I said, I was a lot bigger at the time, and I was pretty sensitive about my weight. I was not.
It's a dick move.
Real dick move. I was not fucking having it. So this asshole went up to go to the bathroom and I took his bag of Chex Mix that he had just been plowing down, and I stared everyone in the eye and I said, "Do not fucking touch this Chex Mix." And then I took handful after handful and rubbed it all over my balls. I was a 350-pound man who'd been working behind a bar all night. If you've ever worked in a bar and or weighed 350 pounds, I'll let you do the math on that, but it was not pleasant. And I put those handfuls of Chex Mix back in the bag and put it right back where it was. He ate that shit. Yeah.
Wait. Oh my God.
Maybe I'm the monster.
No, I don't know. It's poetic justice.
Don't call a fat person fat, man. Don't do that shit. Especially he wasn't fat. You know what I mean? So it wasn't even
it's not even
it's not even cool if you are.
It's you're of the club. Well, I mean, if you're of the club and it's
if you're of the club,
people,
it's a little different.
Yeah,
it's a little different. But if you're not in the club, don't try and make jokes about the club in any way, shape, or form. If that's not your thing, then shut the fuck up. So, or eat my ball Chex Mix.
Yes.
So yeah, that was petty little Rich in college. Petty big Rich in college.
That's good though.
So anyways, Beat Off, aka birthday boy, aka ball Chex eater, lifts up the birthday present box and there's the shit. And he had a good laugh about it. He had a good laugh about it. Slash was pretty disgusted about it. Slash they had to clean off their cement stoop. They just got a hose. I may have left it on cardboard, and they may have been able to. I honestly don't remember that. If I was being a nice guy, I left it on cardboard. I don't remember. Maybe I put it right in the cement. Somebody remembers that.
Beat Off.
Yeah, fuck Beat Off. So I feel like the ball checks got him back for the shit talking he was doing that night. The poop thing was just kind of he's a general Beat Off. Yeah,
so you're like, fuck you. So
right. So eat that. But now, okay, so now I have officially declared war against this entire house, right? Because
everybody's in.
Well, there was a fourth guy in that house, if I remember, but he is a good guy, and I think he was more of just please don't involve me in this, but I'm gonna watch, type of thing.
I support you, but I don't want to.
Yeah, listen, I'm not cleaning up my porch.
Totally support this.
If I put cardboard underneath that poop, it would have been because that fourth guy was a good guy, and I don't want him having to deal with it. You know what I mean? In any way, shape, or form, or seeing any kind of gross stain afterward or whatever. It was a Taco Bell shit. You never know.
God.
Yeah. So, okay. So that's that. I thought that would be a pretty, I thought we were going to be kind of done with the game after that. So, like I said, I was a real big guy back then. So one day, a couple weeks after this, I come walking up into my room. I lived in a pretty big house, and I just walked up into my room. We had several different roommates. And there was a bag of McDonald's sitting on my desk. And it was middle of the day and I was real hungry, and I picked up that bag of McDonald's, and I didn't fucking question for a second. I'm not going to lie to any of you. I immediately ate those French fries. Bag of food.
Oh no.
Bag of food I will eat. That was my thought process, right? So I pick up this bag, I bite into the fries, and to preface this, like I said, I was a big guy, but also there was a guy who lived in the house who ate McDonald's a lot, and he would often offer me his fries if I was around and he was eating them, and he didn't finish them a lot, so he would often offer me his fries. So that's what I thought it was. I was like, he left me a little,
French fry.
Yeah, a little French fry treat. He'd never left me any before, but I was like, oh, he's really stepping his.
You would have failed.
He's really stepping his game up.
You'd have failed that literature class with Art of War. You didn't even think. That's thine enemies.
I've read Art of War. It's a beautiful book. As soon as you put food in front of me,
so you would be useless.
Game over. Yeah,
in any fucking situation, because all they would have to do is be like, no, just put McDonald's on his desk. And it would be like,
like if I were a spy,
I made a vow not to eat this shit, but I do love me some fries.
If I were a spy and they tried to bribe me with carrots and peanut butter, honestly, it wouldn't be that. It'd be like 4 hours in. I'd be like, I'll tell you whatever. I'll give you all I know. I'll give you the keys to the White House. Just give me the fucking fries or give me the carrots and peanut butter. Like, I love food.
I just want to eat.
Yeah, I just want to eat. So, unquestioningly, just started mowing on these fries. So I literally had like maybe I didn't swallow anything. There was no poop on the fries. I'm not like mindless.
I was gonna say. I mean, that would be
I'm painting a pretty mindless picture, right?
Come on.
But I bit into it, and I was like, that was when my brain finally kicked on. It was like, you're now putting things in your mouth. Think about this. So the brain took over, and it was like, something's not right here. Something.
No.
Kent didn't leave you any food. He's not leaving you food. That's not a thing that just happened. So you need to inspect what's going on. So I threw the French fries out immediately. Like, all right, done with those. Ooh. And then I took the rest of the fries out of the bag and I put them down on the table. And now I'm just faced with a McDonald's bag with a Big Mac box in it. And what's in the box? What's in the box?
Come on.
And I knew, but I didn't know. I didn't know. I mean, maybe Kent left me food. The fries, though cold,
this is
look
real
good.
Schrodinger's cat situation.
Yes. Is the poo going to exist or is the poo not going to exist? You don't know until you open.
I'm not going to look. It's a Big Mac.
So I slowly bring the box out of the bag. I cast the bag aside, and now I'm just holding this Big Mac box in my hand. And then I only had to crack it, an inch or so to see a very clear, obvious turd.
Oh, God.
Only separated from my bare hand by the thinnest of McDonald's cardboard. So I, shut the box and very, very calmly, very quietly put it back in the bag. I got the fries and I put them back on top of the bag. And honestly, I don't remember where exactly I threw that all out. Probably out in our trash outside of the house. I'm guessing that's what I did. But I don't have any clear memory. But I do remember, like I said earlier, like, I don't like to be one-upped. I'm not that guy. That was when I was like, it is done. You are done. You are conceding, Rich. We are not continuing this. For a minute, I toyed with the idea of mailing. Also, it was towards the end of the semester. Brian was graduating and leaving, so things were like coming to a culmination as far as school and like, are we going to be around
why
and
you
partying?
had to be the last one?
No, you know what? That was so good. He got me to bite into fry. I don't even think he meant to do that.
We're resting in poo steam.
That we're resting in poo steam.
That's what's like getting. It's like it was marinating in that. Like,
it was his
McDonald's.
His poo was off gassing inches from the fries that I put in my mouth. Didn't swallow, but put in my mouth.
McDonald's themselves are getting. I mean, I don't know at this time if they were still as good as they are now about now making them hot and fresh. So you can imagine,
they were cold and starchy and poopy.
Oh, I'll bet they were colder before that fucking poo steam hit them. Oh, that's so gross. It probably hydrated them some.
Oh, it had to.
Oh, they were probably so dry.
I don't know if it's true or not, but you hear like, a fart is really just like a fart has tiny little poo particles in it. That's how you smell it, right? Like we've all heard that.
Yeah,
I'm choosing to believe that's true because I think it's disgusting and funny.
Yeah, I mean, like the smell of the part. Like smell travels just in and of itself.
And so physically, a part of that poo is in my nose in some way because I am smelling the compound that is.
I try not to think about that.
So there is physically
lot.
something from your body is coming into my nose. I'll give you that. But like by that same logic, then those very poo compounds were certainly wafting around my fries.
I had some friends that did in college that did they one-upped each other with packages as well. Like they would send each other shit.
Somebody told me it was also illegal.
So they did shit it was in the dorm. So in the dorms you would just like drop the package off and the person would take it and put it in the box. Like don't even ask a question. And so I'm pretty sure someone got shit at one point, but the final was a dead raccoon.
Oh.
Like a roadkill.
I grew up in a neighborhood with a lot of
raccoon.
roadkill. Oh.
And so like they're like, how did that smell? But like it was two guys and two girls that were going at it between each other, and the guy sent them like this dead raccoon. And I think one of the girls retaliated by stabbing the dude's tire. I hung out with some crazy ass people.
Man, yeah, that's taking it
crazy. These were like punk rock kids, like
tire stabbing punk rockers.
She
I was just
stabbed
hanging out
his
with
tire.
the drunk booger shot.
Oh, that's the
Pooping in a McDonald's box
man!
kind
Of
of crew.
all
That
this,
was my
I
crew.
really think the booger shots was getting me the worst. Like,
Yeah, it's pretty fucked up,
like,
isn't it?
if it's bad and it hangs out and it floats, and it's just bad. That's just so gross.
My brother was taking a flight one day and was talking to the guy next to him, just a random dude. And this dude, they kind of were like, "Oh, you're from where? You're from where? Oh, maybe we know some kind of people." And the guy sitting next to my brother started telling a story about his friend who was involved with his friend or his brother. It was either, I can't remember who the guy was sitting next to my brother, but he knew Brian. He somehow knew and was like very closely related to my buddy Brian.
Whoa.
And so he starts telling the story about like, hey, my buddy Brian or my brother, whatever it was, got into a poo war with this ridiculous guy back in college. And my brother sits there and he knew the story and he's like, that's my brother.
No fucking way.
Yeah. So like this poo story has really got legs.
That's like how you know fate's real.
Yeah. The Poo War definitely has legs. Poo pouch, Poo War. Poop myself for $20. I gotta think about some of my choices.
Man, look.
I know what I'm
talking about.
I just thought about it. I'm good with it.
Can't shit. I will not shit myself. Won't do it. Not happen. Can't happen. Nope.
No.
I will find a bathroom. First time, I will not. I will just not let it happen.
You are the master of your domain.
I will not. I clench my ass cheeks so hard.
I mean, I get that. I definitely understand that, but I can't say that I never shit myself. And I will tell you, in a moment of sheer terror, it feels good.
I mean, I'm sure that would, but no, and that's probably why I've been on the verge of blacking out because I'm like, no, I'm not letting it happen. And I'm like, my body's like, dude, we're going to die. Like, we're not going to die. Suck it up, bitch.
No, I'm
You're
a
not
weak
fucking
man.
shitting yourself.
Yeah, I'm a weak man. I just shit myself.
No,
I make a poop pouch out of shorts and shit myself.
Now I have run into like, I am going to use a bathroom here. Yeah. This is going to happen. What do I need to buy? One time when I was dirt ass poor, like I'm broke now, but I was broke as fuck when I first moved to the city. And it doesn't help moving to the city. Just so you know, if you're going to come here and be like, I'm not going to be broke. Yes, you will be broke until a certain point.
Get a bike.
I wish that's what fixed it because I biked for a while. Still was broke. But I one time spent $8 that I
just buy a bike and suddenly you're rich.
It's like, I know, save all your money.
Yeah.
I one time spent $8 I did not have because I needed to shit, and the only way I could shit in this place was if I bought food. And I was like, fuck it, I'll eat that, which will probably make me shit again, but at least I'm close to home.
Could have been what got you into that situation.
Well, I was like, I'm close to home right now. Yeah, no, here's the thing, like anything fatty or, I know what makes me shit, but I like it. So I have to get to that Whole Foods point eventually one of these days again. But at the same time, some of the Whole Foods make it too. Salads, useless.
You want
Can't do it.
You want to take your poop game to the next level? Coconut oil.
What? Not
look. Yeah, start cooking with it like Jamaican
that's
food.
Not good. Okay.
You can cook with it. You don't want to get too hot. You don't want to get too hot. You want to keep it kind of low.
It's got the LEDs or the LSDs or it's that shit that fucks you up.
LEDs, it's got lights in it.
It fucks you up. Whatever it is, it fucks with your arteries. But I do like it for certain things.
It's good stuff, but
it smells very good. I love coconut.
It'll give you a good poop.
Yeah. Yeah.
You eat a lot of fiber,
when I used to
eat a lot
cook
of fiber and some good healthy oils, you're going to have yourself a real solid poop.
I used to cook my eggs and that shit. Talk about, that's when I learned, I was like, okay, I can't eat. I have to eat an hour and a half before I leave for work because I will make coffee and eggs and coconut oil and shit myself if I do that. So I have to give myself a good, solid hour before I leave the house.
I lived with a guy in college on my dorm floor freshman year. He pooped 4 times a day.
Goddamn.
4 times a day. Super
I had a
regular.
friend who would never shit. She would go the whole day, and she would be like, "Oh, I have to shit so
Go
bad."
3 days. Oh, she just would like.
She just would not shit in public. She would wait till she got to her apartment or her dorm. That was the only place she would shit. I was like, "Oh my god,
That's a safe shitter.
her bowels are fucked up now."
She just has to. She can only release when she feels like she's in a safe place.
Yeah,
I mean, I
and
kind of get
that's traumatic to your bowels, but also
right.
is
At some
having
point,
to
you
shit
gotta like
all the
let
time.
that go.
Yeah.
Like it's cool to have your principles when it comes to pooping, but like every once in a while you got to bend that shit.
That's when therapy will help for so many things. She would be shocked.
So, Rich, I think it's time that maybe you let go of some of your poops. I think you shouldn't hold it all day just so you can poop at home, Rich. I think that'd be good advice. I would listen to my therapist.
Oh yeah, I would listen to that therapist. I wouldn't have to. My bowels will do it.
I would. You're like,
it won't matter.
Kalina, you just keep pooping as much as you are. You're doing good.
And yet the doctor's like, this is a problem. This is an issue. All right.
What are we doing here?
We have come to the point of the show. This is called our palate cleanser.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm going to let you choose because we are at the end of one and halfway through another because this one was better. Let's be real. Duels. I don't know if it's what it is. But before we do this, so the palate cleanser comes at the end of the session.
Okay.
When we have, I poured you like half a glass of whiskey. I'm so sorry. If you don't want it all, you don't have to have it. It's totally you dope. You good? You don't need this? Okay. All right.
I'm good with that.
I can switch it up if you want to try the early times. But before we take this,
I am writing.
You want to, okay. I'll tell you about that in a second. But before we do that,
early times.
Let's hear. Where can people find you? Where can they see you? What do you do on the social medias in real life? Let's hear your plugs.
Plugs. Follow me on Instagram, Rich M. Williams. I've talked about weight loss a little bit here. I kind of focusing on weight loss and just fucking around with my cat because he's the shit.
What's your cat's name?
My cat's name is Makita. Also follow him on Instagram at Chicago Black Cat. He's a fun, cute little dude.
That's cute.
He's super cute. He's the Orlando Bloom of cats.
Oh.
He's got these big pretty eyes. So yeah, that's my little dude. But then you can see me. I do shithole stand-up comedy maybe once a month or so. I don't want to speak for those guys, but I got a show coming up on January 20th, and then hopefully you'll get one in February or March as well. So I like performing at Shithole. I also have done a few $10 comedies. That's on Tuesday nights at Second City. I got one of those coming up in the first or second week of February. And then my sketch group, Mass Street Productions, we're going to be doing Sketch Fest on January 18th, 9 p.m. And then we will be doing a show. We haven't gotten our time yet, but more than likely it'll be at Otherworld Theater in March or April. So if you're looking to watch me do sketch, keep an eye out on Instagram for that. I'll plug some of that on Instagram once we get closer and have our show dates for that, but that'll be coming up in April or March.
Nice.
Yeah.
Sounds
and then just
fantastic.
other various shows around town as far as stand-up goes.
Yeah.
You know how that is. You just grab them and go do them.
Yeah, you can always go. One thing I wanted to say, we can plug, I would think this. Oh my God. So there's a website, Comedy of Chicago or Mice.
Oh yeah, Comedy of Chicago. Mm-hmm.
Is it Comedy of Chicago?
Yeah, that's where you
find the mics.
Mm-hmm.
So like if you want to do mics, that's where you can go. If you want to go see people, like try their shit out. Sometimes it's kind of fun to just pop in and see like what's going on. But honestly, open mics are also very torturous. So
yes,
follow
at Shithole HQ on Instagram. Message them for details about shows. They do shows once or twice a week at least, pop-ups, and they also have a regular spot, the Shithole. So message them for details. They post their flyer the day of on their Instagram page.
Oh, okay. So they're one of those like pop-up like real quick.
Yeah. They usually post it around that lunch hour time-ish. I've seemed to notice the day of the show. So Thursdays and Sundays, and sometimes Fridays too. So keep your eye out Thursdays, Fridays, or Sundays for Shithole. They put on a real good show.
Oh, I'm gonna have to follow them. Mm-hmm. Dope. Sounds awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us.
I hope I made you cringe. I had all these stories about.
Damn.
I had all these stories about poop, and it was just one little booger shot that did it.
Oh my God, I'm sorry. Yeah, like honestly, it's so fucking.
Yeah, right. So, I did that at the time because I knew it was fucked up.
Oh, but
That's the only
I'm
motivation.
just not one of those people. I'm like, no, fuck
stupid?
no, man.
You're not stupid?
I'm
That's
not
good.
an idiot.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
just
good.
not
That's a
a
good
dumb idiot.
Stick to that.
I'm just smart.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got two different things. You are having tonight the Early Times Kentucky whiskey aged in oak for a taste that's worth the wait. I think they made it last week. It is 40%. It's
But
an
it was
80 proof.
worth
I mean, I don't know. You're the one who's going to try.
Yeah, I'll let you know.
It was established in 1860, so it could have also been from 1860. They could have forgotten about it.
That's true. This could be a lost bottle.
Doesn't
158-year-old, 59-year-old bottle.
Feels like they didn't
Getting
care.
the legs of the whiskey here.
I am having the Dewar's blended Scotch whiskey, white label, true Scotch, a selection of fine whiskeys aged in oak casks, then carefully blended together. It tastes like oak. I didn't realize that was a thing to like until one of my friends was like, sip this whiskey. I was like, or shot. And they're like, no, sip. And it's true. I'm going to shoot this, which is probably not a good idea because it's smoky.
It's a sipping whiskey?
It's a sipper. It's a
yeah, let it roll around in there.
This is from number batch AB0079. A very good year for Dewar's and Sons. I believe this is when they finally had their bicentennial. So there's some history for you on Dewar's. They were established in 1846. Earlier than that, that's why it is smokier. That's like a double. I don't know why I do this to myself, but it's okay. All right, Rich, thank you for coming in.
Thank you, Kalina.
Cheers. Let's take these. Yep, couldn't do the whole thing because that's a sipping whiskey. All right.
Sipping whiskey.
Rich, thank you for coming in. And you all, thanks for listening. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.